Coming up on today's holiday edition of Chevrolet Everyday Heroes Come Home, we pay tribute to our troops. We'll introduce you to some of our country's bravest soldiers and see how celebrities from all walks of life have joined together to honor our wounded heroes. And we'll introduce you to an organization that is making a difference in their lives with the gift of a lifetime. Stay with us as we pay tribute to our nation's soldiers on Chevrolet Everyday Heroes Come Home.
Yesterday, December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy, a state of war has existed between the United States and the Japanese Empire. We will gain the inevitable triumph, so help us God.
Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
I can hear you. The rest of the world hears you. And the people who knock these buildings down will hear all of us soon.
Since we became a sovereign nation, America has been shaped by the wars that have taken place over the last 3 centuries. As our nation developed, our military spent increasing amounts of time overseas. A need for a diversion was acknowledged, and in 1941, the USO was established to help create a home away from home for our troops. Since that time, celebrities such as Marilyn Monroe and Bob Hope have given countless hours to help make the holidays a little easier for our troops overseas. In recent years, former American Idol star Kellie Pickler has made several visits overseas to entertain our troops. Kellie is from a military family and proud to be a part of a tradition that dates back almost 75 years.
I've had the pleasure of working with the USO since 2008, and during this time I've been on 7 USO tours. It's completely changed my life. It's a great thing to be a part of, and I've been so blessed to be able to do what I love and travel and sing my little songs and take my little songs overseas and entertain the troops, and it's life-changing. I think it's important that our servicemen and women and our veterans know that we love them. We do not take what they do for granted, and I think it's important that they know that.
Though the USO could never replace the creature comforts of home, it has served its purpose of being the next best thing. The holidays are a time that everyone looks forward to. But for those who have served overseas, being home for the holidays is especially gratifying. Long deployments overseas mean missing time that is typically reserved for family.
It's tough sometimes during the holidays, during Christmas and Thanksgiving, those times that it's supposed to be a family-oriented thing, to not have them there to hold on to. But at the same time, what I always told myself when I was over there is that part of what we're doing here is preserving that life. You know, the things I do here may or may not change or affect these people, but the things that I do here in my mind and my actions are there to preserve the lifestyle that I have, that I love. And so I always kind of just try to reassure myself that there's going to be more of these, you know, that I'm missing this one, but there's going to be one next year. And how many have I had before? That just because I'm not there with my family physically don't mean that I can't be with them emotionally.
For some, Thanksgiving and holiday meals overseas represent a much-needed break from the daily grind. But staying focused on the task at hand made the time pass quickly.
I think Christmas was probably the hardest one. Other than that, I mean, I don't want to sound cold or anything, but we were just so busy. You know, I remember Thanksgiving, there was just so much going on. If I remember right, I didn't even know it was Thanksgiving until after we were brought out a plate with turkey on it.
My personal feeling about that is if you hesitate, that could be you that day. You just gotta focus on what's in front of you and what's around you. If you start thinking about what's back at home or what's for dinner, what's back, what's your girlfriend or your wife doing, pretty much you're letting down your fellow soldiers down.
The military has always done its best to entertain the troops, but the diversion is only temporary. The next mission is always right around the corner, and our troops have different ways of preparing for their time to go into battle.
I think you get nervous. A lot of people, some people, I guess, will try to get themselves psyched up. It's almost like trying, I guess, mentally, it's almost numbing yourself to it. They'll listen to whatever their favorite music is before we're getting ready to roll out or whatever. And it's trying to take your mind side off of getting those butterflies, like, in a way. And I always kind of had that, those butterflies, but I mean, those butterflies are good. Those butterflies would keep you cautious, would keep you on the edge.
Going on your first combat mission and then, you know, have them tell you, hey, there is 100% enemy presence, there's 100% chance of getting shot at, you know, it's like, great, you know, like, hopefully we don't die, you know, and and then, you know, you get a safety brief right before you go out there, you know, try to pump everybody up, motivate everybody, you know, like, hey, not everybody's gonna make it back, you know, da-da-da, and hearing that stuff, it's like, man, like, this is scary, you know? And then knowing that nobody else is there, you're the only one there that's gonna be able to do anything. And whenever, you know, you get boots on the ground and those rounds start ringing, there's nobody else around but you and your buddies, you know, like, there's no politics, there's no president, there's nothing else flying around no more but you and the people that's right next to you.
We had crossed the berm from Kuwait into Iraq, and they said, I'll never forget, they said, you know, lock and load that first live round. And you know, it just hit me at that point, this is it. I mean, this is what we trained for, this is the real, you know, we call it the show, you know, this is the show, and that's the moment it hit me when I locked and loaded that first round, you know.
As the troops do their best to carry out their mission, the stress and strain on their families back home can be excruciating.
Life was, it was a complete game changer for my parents. My mother was on edge every single day. She looked forward to hearing something from me every single day on both tours. I can't even imagine what type of things went through her mind.
And my wife had a great group of women that surrounded her when I first got injured, and I know that without that group of women, it would have been a little bit different story for our family, and they need to be recognized for what they do for their soldiers.
Though many of our troops have come home with injuries that have changed their future forever, many will tell you that they have no regrets. The time they spent on the battlefield has forged a bond that few will ever know. Stay with us. When we return, we'll introduce you to some of our nation's most courageous veterans. When Chevrolet Everyday Heroes Come Home continues.